I stood up to my abusive boss without getting fired. I've worked at my company for 2 years, and for most of that time, I thought I was just a hardworking, reliable employee. But over the past year, I started noticing a pattern that made me uneasy. My boss, Mike, had a habit of dumping last-minute, urgent tasks on me. Always after hours, always something that conveniently couldn't wait until the next day. At first, I thought this was just part of the job. Maybe it happened to everyone. But slowly, I realized it was just me. My coworkers never received these emails. They never got pulled into these emergencies. It started small, an email after 7 p.m., a quick task that could take an hour. But then it escalated. Reports, presentations, even things that didn't belong to our department somehow ended up on my desk. Every time I questioned it, Mike would laugh it off, saying I was too serious or needed to prove my dedication. I wanted to believe him, so I did. I stayed late, skipped lunches, rearranged my personal life, and the more I complied, the more he piled on. One night, it all came to a head. I had plans with friends, a rare night off. Mike sent me an email at 6:30 p.m. demanding that I stay late to finish a report he had conveniently forgotten to assign earlier. I tried to push back politely, explaining that I had made prior commitments. His response was strange, almost cold. He hinted that my future at the company could be affected by my dedication. I felt a knot in my stomach. Something was off. That night, instead of giving in, I started digging. I searched my inbox and found months of these so-called urgent tasks. Many were unnecessary. Some even contradicted deadlines he had set for others. I remembered HR mentioning during onboarding that all emails were stored on the company server. A plan formed in my mind. If there was a pattern, HR would see it. I compiled everything and forwarded it to HR with a simple, polite message. Hi, I just wanted some clarification. It seems I receive significantly more after-hours requests than my peers. Is this standard practice? A week passed. I didn't hear anything. My anxiety grew, not about the work, but about the consequences. Had I overstepped? Then, suddenly, Mike called me into his office. He looked pale, nervous. HR had flagged the pattern and dug deeper. They discovered not just unfair treatment, but that he had been systematically diverting his own responsibilities onto me while claiming credit for my work. A week later, an all-company email announced that Mike was moving on to new opportunities. I remember reading it at my desk and feeling an overwhelming sense of relief. That day, I left the office at exactly 5 p.m. No guilt, no excuses, no late-night emails haunting me. For the first time in months, I felt free. Not just from unfair demands, but from the constant anxiety, the stress, and the feeling that I was powerless in my own workplace. It was a small victory, but it felt monumental. I learned that standing up, carefully, intelligently, was worth it. And that sometimes the system works, even when it feels like no one is watching.